Dreamweaver has an extremely powerful Find and Replace dialog box. Let's open it and explore some of the options. Go to the Edit menu and select Find and Replace. The keyboard shortcut is Ctrl F on Windows, Command F on a Mac. As you would expect in a Find and Replace dialog box, you've got a Find field for your search term and a Replace field for your replacements. But the real power of the Find and Replace dialog box lies in these two menus at the top, Find In and Search. At the moment it's set to Current Document and Text. So Current Document is obviously the document that is open, the document that is active in the document window. Text, that means the text that appears in the web page. In other words, it doesn't include any of the HTML, the CSS or JavaScript that you might have in your page. Let's open the Find In menu. The first option is Selected Text. So if you've selected some text in Design View, it will search only within that selection. Current Document is the active document in the document window. Open Documents covers not only files that are open in tabs, but also files that are attached to them. For example, in the file that I've got open at the moment, you can see in the Related Files toolbar that highway.css is attached to it, and files that are attached like this are considered to be open, so they will be searched as well if you select Open Documents. Folder allows you to select a particular folder to search. Selected Files in Sight, that allows you to select files in the Files panel and search only within those files, and the files don't need to be open at the time that you do the operation. And then finally you can search the entire current local site. In the Search menu, the first option is Source Code. That will search the entire source code. In other words, any HTML, JavaScript, CSS and the text, whereas text searches only the text that appears in the web page. If you want to make a more specific search within the text of your web page, select Text Advanced. And this gives you, in addition to the Find field, some options. You can search inside a particular tag. So you say I could search only inside headings 1, for example. And you can add further options by clicking this plus button. An even more powerful search is for specific tag. So you can look for a specific tag with an attribute or without an attribute, or if it's inside another tag, if it's nested inside another tag, and you can then set other options as well. This allows you to perform a really fine-tuned search, and then at the end you've got a whole series of actions that you can perform. You can replace the tag and its contents, or just the contents only. You can remove it, you can strip the tag, you can do all sorts of things. But let's perform a simpler search. So I've got Find an entire current local site, and then Search, we'll set that to text. What I want to do is to search for the word destination. So type that in the Find field and Find All. This opens the search results panel at the bottom. It's empty. It says that it's done the search. It's not found that word in 38 documents. That doesn't really surprise me. I knew that it wasn't in the text. So what I want to do now is to search in the underlying source code. To reopen the dialog box, click the little green arrow at the top left of the search results field, and then I'll change that from text to source code and Find All. And it runs through the entire site very quickly. It says that it's found 8 items in 55 documents. They're all listed down here with the search term underlined in red, and if I double click any of those, it immediately opens that page with the search term highlighted. Now I performed only a find operation. You can also do a find and replace operation, and the files don't need to be open at the time. But if you do that, Dreamweaver will warn you that it cannot undo any replacements that you make in closed files. So use that option only if you're 100% certain that you want to make that change. Of course, if a file is open at the time, you can undo that because the file won't have been saved unless you save it yourself. Let's look at the other options down here. Searches are case insensitive, so if you want to do a case sensitive search, select this checkbox, Match Case. You can also match a whole word. Normally Dreamweaver ignores white space, so that should normally be selected. And then this option here, Use Regular Expression. That uses the powerful regular expression pattern matching language. Learning how to use regular expressions isn't easy, but if you're really serious about web development, then that is a skill that you really ought to acquire at some stage. Because the Find and Replace dialog box has so many options, it can take some time to learn how to use it, but it's well worth exploring and experimenting with.